Is it time for spoil to be destroyed? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Undead Unluck Episode 8. And we are still in the midst of fighting Spoil. This has actually gone on a little longer than I thought. I was figuring it was going to be finished last episode. But instead, Spoil kind of just evolved like a Pokemon into a new form. And yeah, we figured out a way to counter the timer that hope and dreams and the determination to follow those into the future raises the timer back up. It's basically saying that your hope for the future stops you from falling to the now. And it's an interesting idea. On top of that, we just have the continuing fight. We had the female zombie who, wanted to walk down the aisle, wanted to wear a wedding dress and all. She sacrificed herself using Fuko's unluck to become a bomb. It's like everything's just kind of connecting. This might be the end of this little, I guess you could call it an arc at this point. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see how this mission ends out. But I want to say something here real quick. And I want to bring this up in the pre-thoughts just to kind of get it out of the way here. Those who know of this series know that it is a 2-core series. For those who don't know exactly what that means, a core is basically 12 or 13 episodes, a single season's worth of content in terms of anime. It's a term that's pretty much used exclusively for anime series. Basically, each season, new anime starts, and a single core only lasts for that season. A double core usually lasts for 2 seasons. Most of the time, that's 2 seasons in a row. But sometimes there is a split in that where it's like, oh, we'll have a couple seasons off, then get to the second core. But it's still part of season 1, technically. Spy Family, I believe, did that, for example. But what I'm getting at here is that this is a double core series, which means it's about 24, 26 episodes. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's around that. And I think it either just finished or is... No, it would have just finished because the spring season just started. Yeah. So I want to bring this up because with most shows that are around that length, I tend to take breaks. And recently, I went all the way through Dr. Stone season 1 without taking a break, despite it being, I believe, 24 episodes. I didn't take a break in there, and I just kind of pushed myself through it because I was enjoying it. But I mentioned that at the end, I was definitely starting to feel that burnout. It was starting to hit, and that's why I kind of rushed through the last bunch of episodes doing multi-episode videos. I don't want to go through that again with this series. Because this series I'm really enjoying and really loving how it's being handled. There's a lot of great depth to these characters that is being expressed here. And to the different stories we're seeing them within. I don't want this to be another example of that. So, I am making the decision now that I am going to be taking a break. So the question is, when do I take it? Because with a series like this that kind of goes with, I guess, cases that could be seen as mini arcs of their own, I don't know when each arc ends. And I could do like a thing like I did with Fire Force, where it's like, oh, let's see how each set of episodes go. But I don't know if this series is actually separated into distinct arcs in the same way like that. And I really want to avoid spoilers. So my thought is that when this arc ends, once they defeat Spoil and all of that finishes out, I'm going to take a break. Whether that's this episode, next episode, whatever have you. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to watch something else, and then I should be coming right back to this. And I already know what I'm going to replace this with, because this is a donation reward, just as a reminder. So I do already know what donation reward I am going to replace this one with. So no worries there. I will announce that if this arc ends in this video, I'll announce that then. If it's next video, I'll announce it at that point. But when I'm sure that this arc is over, I will make the announcement. And we will take a break. And again, I'm doing this to avoid burnout because I really don't want even the possibility of that happening with this series, like it did with Dr. Stone. It's like I'm really enjoying this, and I probably could continue. In fact, I am pretty much guaranteeing I could continue at this point. But I don't want the possibility of that burnout, like, reaching this series right now. So I think it would just be a better move to take this break. Take a little rest for this, and then come back ready to go again. So that's the plan for the moment. That is the plan, and we will adjust things as needed. We will go from there as we need to. So I wanted to say this in the pre-thoughts just to kind of get it out of the way, let you know my mindset ahead of time, because it might be this episode. I'll see in between this and the reaction if I can find like any specific arc layouts. I'm not going to look too deep into it. If I can't find it easily, though, I'll just wait and see based on how it goes. But yeah, maybe I'll check that just to get a good view of it, and we'll go into that in the reaction or in the afterthoughts. So yeah, either way, we're gonna get this going. But before we do, as a reminder, even if this show goes for the time being on break, we have a lot of shows on the channel that we are reacting to. 2 shows every day, Monday through Friday. On Mondays, we also do YouTube reactions, specifically donation rewards that people have sent in. On Wednesdays, we do gaming content, which currently happens to be Momodora Moonlit Farewell, which we are streaming. We're almost done with it, and so we are going to be beginning PS5 stuff soon in regards to that. And on every Saturday and Sunday, I post movie reactions that are recorded earlier in the week, but are made sure to be posted on Saturdays and Sundays. We have a bunch of other stuff that randomly pops up as well, but that is our main scheduled programming. So there's always something for everyone on the channel, and I hope you all find something you can enjoy. For the time being, though, we're going to get this going and see what this episode has in store for us. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. And goddamn, do I love this show! Like, holy shit! We have 2 episodes left, and we finished spoil in this one because we got a whole new shit fuckery to deal with, and it's just like, oh my god. So apparently holding back his memories also holds back this sort of second personality within him. This second personality named Victor or Victhor is how it's kind of, it seems to be kind of spelled, or maybe that's just the way that that Shen was saying it. And he has less limits than Andy, even to the point where he can regenerate from any part of his body rather than just the head. So when he launched his hand back down with Spoil's core onto the earth, he regenerated from the hand. This also allows him to create clones of himself. Since he can regenerate from any body part, he can regenerate a whole body from, like, a finger he shoots out, or a hand, or anything else. He can clone himself. But the clones won't last, as we see. He also seemingly has the ability somehow to negate other people's abilities. Shen's untruth, which I'll talk about in a bit here, was not working on him at all. All the conditions are seemingly fulfilled. The only one I can think of that might not be would be the fact that he has to be, fond of the target. And I guess technically he might not be fond of Victor, even if he is fond of Andy. Because they're separate entities. We get that now. But on top of it, Fuko's unluck didn't work. And the thing is, while fondness strengthens her unluck, it would still affect him. But it didn't. Why? We have no fucking clue. But this was definitely a last-ditch effort showing how strong Spoil was, that this was needed. And Andy even gave Shen two orders to follow in order to do this. He had to protect Fuko, which, yeah, obviously, and then defeat him. And so Shen, I feel, knew right away that he would not be strong enough. I mean, he had to try, but the plan was always to have the rest of the round table, the rest of Union's big bad power users, to come in. But still, seeing them actually arrive kind of sent chills down my spine, if I'm being honest. Because it's like, I did not think we were going to get to see all of them fight this soon. I did not think we were going to get to see this anytime soon. I thought they were going to build up to it. Like, oh, we see Shen fight here. Maybe in the next mission we'll see one or two of them, two of the others fight. And so on and so forth. And eventually, we'd probably get to the current leader. I can't remember her name right now. But we'd get to her, like, by the end of the season. Like, maybe that would come into play, like, in the last arc or two. But instead, no, we're just getting all of that here. And we might not get, like, the full extent of their powers. We might not understand exactly what they all do yet. But we are definitely at least getting a taste of it. And that's exciting. That's extremely exciting. And that combined with just the fact that Victhor is a completely different entity. I'm wondering, it's like they all have like these powers. There's the entire rules thing, and they have the artifacts. It all kinds of seems to center around like there's this like this power, and it can manifest in different ways. It can manifest in people creating these power users. It can manifest as artifacts. It can manifest just as the rules themselves, like spoil, or whatever the other term was. I can't remember at the moment. But it can manifest in all of these different ways. And they have different restrictions and limits and just powers based on how it manifests. So I'm wondering if the power within him, the undead power itself, is Victhor. I'm wondering if Victhor is not like another personality in the typical dissociative identity disorder sense, but is literally the consciousness of the power within him. I'm starting to wonder that. Because that could be really interesting and add a new layer of depth to this. I'm wondering how the card, as they call it, keeps him from accessing his memories. Is it just at a specific point where it pokes into a specific point of his brain that just like disables that? Is it that simple? Or is there something more to it? I genuinely don't know. But it's like this just makes this so much more fascinating and interesting. And I'm very excited to find out more about how all of this works. The interesting thing is, whatever the power of the leader of the round table is, it's gotta be insane, right? Like, she's number one for a reason. It was stated before that they could, take the rank from her by doing more work and stuff. But there's gotta be a reason she's number one. Like, it's not just hard work, right? She's gotta be stronger than all the others. And that's that's not at all putting down the others either. They are exceptionally strong too, obviously. But I'm really curious to see what she can do. I also want to bring up again, like I said in the pre-thoughts, I'm talking about like taking a break from this series once this arc ends. And as I mentioned in the reaction at the beginning, I did look it up. So let me see if I can bring this up here again real quick. Yeah, I still have it up. So the fandom website is where I found this, and this is where I had found it for Fire Force as well. As you know, I was doing that for Fire Force, where I would take breaks after certain arcs and stuff, after I reached certain points. And so there's specifically a sorting here where you can look up specifically, and I'll try to show this to you. It's going to be dark. I have to darken it real quick. I'll try to show this to you. Also, there's going to be a Google ad on this. But here, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but yeah, there's a page on the fandom for the Undead Unluck wiki that's specifically for story arcs. And on it, it'll tell you, like, the first arc is the intro arc, which is the first 2 episodes. It actually shows you, again, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but it shows you the manga and the anime, how many chapters and how many episodes are part of that arc. The Unchange arc is the second arc here, and that was episodes 3 and 4. And so now we're in the spoil arc, and as it says, that is 12 chapters long, which for the anime is 6 episodes, episodes 5 through 10. So that means that we're going to have to continue this for a couple more weeks, obviously. I do still know what's going to replace this, and that's not going to change. We're still going to go with that. But we have 2 more weeks, and then we're going to take a break. I think that's a good place because, like I said, although I am very much still enjoying this, I don't even want the possibility of burnout to hit with this series because I'm enjoying it so much. Especially after this episode. It's like this episode was so goddamn good. I don't even want the possibility of burnout to happen. So I'm choosing to take a break before it gets to that point. And after episode 10, it's not quite halfway in, but it's close enough to where it's like I actually feel better about that than if the arc ended in this episode. I feel better about putting it on break after episode 10 than I would if I put it on break after episode 8. You know what I mean? So I'm actually really happy that there's a couple more episodes here. Um, but yeah, so that's gonna be the deal. So you have that foreknowledge now. After episode 10, we are gonna go on a break. We're gonna do another show and then come right back to this, I'm sure. So, that being said, though, we do have a lot of other stuff on the channel to keep you occupied nonetheless, though. We have 2 shows every weekday, Monday through Friday, that we react to, as well as YouTube reactions on Monday. On Wednesday, we do gaming content, which currently we have been streaming through Momodora Moonlit Farewell. We're just about done with that, though. We're finishing up. We're in the last stages of the game. So we will be closing that out fairly soon. And because of that, I do want to start getting into PS5 stuff soon. So we're going to be getting to that as well in the near future. We also do movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. I record them during the week, but they're put up on the weekends just for sake of ease, and so there is content still being put up on the weekends. So every Saturday and Sunday, expect movies. Most of the time, there'll be donation rewards from fellow viewers, but sometimes I'll sneak something that I just want to watch in there as well. There's also just various other content that'll randomly appear on the channel, from AMVs to countdown lists and other stuff. So watch out for those as well. The point is, there is always something on the channel for everyone, whether it be based on genre, time period, type of series, etc. There's always going to be something that anyone can enjoy. So, all of that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Tell me your thoughts, and as always, no spoilers. But for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.